Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today. More card making for you with Stampin' Up products. So today we're going to be using this brilliant cardstock. This is a new cardstock from Stampin' Up that will be available to purchase from May, called Beige, and you know, it sounds really boring, but I'm really loving using this colour and experimenting with it with some of our products. So giving it another whirl today to use with this stamp set called Lifetime of Love, and it's got the coordinating dies to go with it. This is a carryover from the mini catalogue that's about to retire, so this one's going to stick around for a little bit, so I thought I'd pull it out and do something with it. I hadn't actually purchased it before, so I've actually got my hands on it now. Very much geared up towards sort of the you know, anniversaries and weddings and things like that, but obviously, you know, with the different sentiments from your stash, you could make it for whatever occasion you like. But it's just a pretty floral set with some really cute dies as well. So there's this nice sort of oval frame, and then you've got this sort of very sparse sort of wreath thing. So yeah, it's really nice set, really scripty font as well. Okay, and like I say, I've teamed it up with this new colour and Early Espresso, which is just a combination made in heaven, really. Okay, so let's press on with that. So of course I've got my card base already cut there, and I've got a card layer ready to do some tone-on-tone stamping. Okay, so we're going to use the basic beige ink pad. Okay, so there's no markers or anything with this. It's available in cardstock and it's available as an ink. Okay, so very vanilla is one of the other sort of core cardstocks, if you like, along with basic white. That is just in cardstock. Okay, and there's no ink pad, but beige has an ink pad, and there will be refills available for that too in due course. So a bit of background stamping then. So from the set, I'm going to bring in this lovely leaf. So this is a red rubber stamp set. Okay, so we're going to get our ink pad open there, and oh, need some scrap paper to put underneath it. Just want to protect the work surface from the ink, because I'm going to go off the edge of the page, but I'm going to stamp all over, and we'll work from the middle outwards, and we'll twist the cardstock and just build that up. Excuse me. And we can twist the stamp. We can use different portions of it in different areas, spacing them out a little bit. Okay, and if you start from the middle, you can kind of I think you can fill it in a little better. Kind of don't box yourself into the centre, especially if that's going to be showing a lot. We're going to be covering the middle, so it's possibly less critical, but I would say that's a good step if you're wanting a lot of that to show and you don't want to sort of end up with not enough space in the centre for that final image. If you start there, it should work out. What I am doing though is just making sure there aren't sort of big gaps, if you like, in the border there, and I think that will do. Just really nice tone on tone, subtle stamping there for the edge, and it will just help that layer just lift from the base that we're going to be doing. Okay, so that's all from the ink pad right now. And as we've got this panel in front of us, let's just get that adhered down. Ooh, I knew that was going to happen at some point right on a video. Okay, so we're just going to refill that. So these refills just come in a nice sealed pocket so they don't dry out. That's probably really loud on the microphone, sorry about that. So we'll just pull that out the packet there. And we can just lift that out and check it out. And we can pop our next refill in and close that back up again. And you can just wind it on a little bit and you can see the tape on there. Okay, so, and now we are ready to rock and roll. First couple of lines, you might just want to just be a little bit careful with it. But once it started rolling, it should be fine. I love that stuff. Go through loads of it because it's quick and easy to use and doesn't go everywhere, basically. Okay, so that's it. That's our card base, all nice and done. Make sure you do a nice sharp crease on that top fold so that it stands up. Okay, and that's it for that, just for the moment. So we'll just pop that over there to one side for a moment. Already done a little bit of die cutting ahead of time, so I've already stamped and die cut a couple of these roses already, but we just need to do a couple more. So one I've already stamped, and this is with the early espresso ink. So these two colours are just dreamy together, and if you bring in, say, pecan pie, you've got a nice triple there, or even crumb cake as well. So if I grab the crumb cake there, okay, really nice combinations of colours that you can get out with these with that new colour. Really cool. Okay, so we just need to stamp another set of these roses, and I've just got some scraps and stuff that are going to fit that just nicely. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, and before we cut that out, we're going to just pop some Wink of Stella on there as well. So this is going to do two things. It's going to pull that ink a little bit, less so on that one that's already dry, and add just a little bit of sparkle. Okay, so for the rose, I'm really pulling on that ink for the centre and less so around the edge, just so that it's a bit darker in the centre, a bit like, you know, how a flower would be. The petals sort of start off dark and then lighten as they unfurl from their bud. Okay, so that's just a little bit of that, and it just has this hint of a shimmer, which is very hard to pick up on camera. This one, let's see if I can get it to show you. Don't know whether you can see that or not, I can't tell. Okay, but in real life it's really nice just to have that little bit of a shimmer on the card. Okay, now, and then this has a coordinating die from the set, which we can just put that over the top of that image. Just make sure it's nice and central. You should just about see the line around the edge, just a hint of a border, but not a lot. Okay, just tape it in place. When you've got oh, that tape's gone a bit all wrinkled up on me, so let's get another piece. Have a few of these pieces sort of on the go kind of thing. So we'll run that through once. I tend to go backwards and forwards just because of the setup of my machine off to the side here. So instead of trying to reach behind it, I just bring it back through, so everything gets sort of rolled through twice. If you've got a very detailed die, you may need to go through a couple of times, backwards and forwards, just to make sure it cuts all the way through. But every machine will react slightly differently, so you just need to have a play with them and see how it cuts for you. But these nice open shapes you shouldn't have any problem with whatsoever. Okay. So there we go, we've got 4 of those, which are going to build up to make the sort of central portion there. Okay, so that's that part. So we've got those all ready. We've also die cut 6 of these little leaves. So that's a separate standalone die on there. The other thing we need is the sentiment. So just another scrap of paper there, and bringing in this Forever and Always stamp. Doesn't matter which way around we put it actually, because it's going to be die cut. So in fact I will do it this way just to make sure I've got room. So just make sure you've got room for the die to go around it. And I've pulled out one of the deckled circles. Okay, deckled circles, here it is. This is the one that I've used, and you get loads of circles in that pack. Let me just take that down and I'll just grab that quickly. It's just underneath everything else though, of course. You get loads of them. It says on here somewhere 14 of them, and I think they go down to, I think when I measured that on a video before, it was like 5 3/4 inches or something like that. So it's massive, all the way down to like about 1 inch. So there's loads of possibilities there with that. Just pop this die onto my magnetic thingy that's like a little needle keeper. Just keeps everything tidy, so I don't end up losing it on the desk. And again, this is an open shape, which means it's going to cut out really, really easily. And we'll just peel back this tape. Okay, it is low tack. Sometimes you just get a little bit of residue there, but it will just rub off. Okay, and eventually this loses its stick or becomes really kind of gummy, and once it gets to that point you can chuck it out and use another piece. So I use it and use it and use it until I can't use it anymore, and that's just old washi tape. This is old Stampin' Up washing tape. We used to have that in our collections. This is years and years and years old. Okay, I think we're done with ink and stuff now. I think it's just about making sure everything comes together now. Okay, so first things first is building up this central portion that we're going to do. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is make sort of 2 sections that we'll then put together to try and make it as even as possible. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is going to use that leaf there as an anchor point for those 2 roses there. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so I'm just going to use a bit of this tape there and just pop that on, and I'm going to do the same on this one. And we're just going to lay that over the top like so, and I'm just going to check that the width of that looks okay. Yep, which it is. And so it's even, we're going to just line that up. And line that up. And we've got 2 pieces now that are identical that we can now flip round and do exactly the same with. Okay, so again I'm just going to use that little leaf as the anchor point. Okay, so that's going to go under, that's going to go under, and we've got ourselves that piece there that we can use, and this guy's going to go in the centre. Okay, it's going to be popped up, but I want the centre to be more popped up, so we're going to put a single layer of dimensionals onto this, and I'm going to use 4. Don't need to go crazy, these are strong. Okay, don't need loads. But for this we're going to need that sort of central bit to be nice and secure. So I'm going to put a little triangle of those in there, but we need to double them up. So we'll take the papers off, the backing paper, and we're going to put another set right over the top. That's going to be the double height there that we need. Okay. Right, let's get these off. They're dead easy to get off, these big ones. Really, really nice. I think the fact that they're hexagonal, I don't know, just makes that corner really easy just to lift off. Okay. If you want to, use some wet glue to help you with some manoeuvrability if you think you might get it wrong. If you're laying it down as well, so if you can just see those larger roses, they look sort of north, south, east, west, but I thought it looked a little less I don't know, planned out, if you know what I mean. If I just offset that a little bit, so we'll pop that there, and it just fits about on there. Okay. And similarly with this, if you want to put some glue on and just make sure that your sentiment's nice and straight, you can of course go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so it's not much, but there's just that little step of dimension in between there. Okay, so on this card I went around the edge. But this one, I think I'm going to see how it looks. Oh, I didn't do 6, I did 5, that was right. It's an odd number. But put them more around the sentiment part and not necessarily use all of them either. Okay, so this is where wet glue comes into its own, because now I can just pop just a smidge on the sort of middle of that. And we can lift this a little bit and we can slot that in just there. I can use a pokey tool or something just to make sure that that makes contact. Okay, and we'll do that at a few spots around the edge. Not necessarily sticking out in the same way either, but they do have a curve to them, so I am using the curve and just hiding those stems a little bit. Okay, so I have done 5, so I'll bring that a bit further round. The kind of thing you can really play with, and until you get the point at which you're happy with those. I'll bring this one a little bit further round, and that's the other thing with the wet glue, because it'll grabs quite quickly, but you do have that opportunity just to move things before it sets completely. So 5 of these get you around there. With some overlap as well, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so completely different look. Now you might think that that's covered up too many of the roses. I might agree with you. I just wanted to offer you up a different way of using those things. Okay, and then the last thing to put on is just a little bit of texture with a little bow, which we're going to use this Baker's Twine Essentials. So there should be some black in there as well, but I've used up all the black. Grey Granite, Very Vanilla, Basic White, and then there's Crumb Cake. So we'll grab some of that, and I'm going to do a double bow with that. So I'm just going to cut the length of that off, and just make sure you get both of them though, and tie that round into a knot, and then give that a good yank, and then you can fuss with how big the loops need to be. With the twine, it is a little fiddly, I have to say. I think it's worth it though, but I tend to sort of pull it on my fingers like that, just to try and get the get it to sit properly. And then once I think it's okay, I can take my fingers out. Okay, that one's just a little bit bigger than that one. So we'll just pull that a little bit. There we go. Gotcha. And then with the glue dots, a glue dot's going to be way too big for that little teeny tiny knot. I think they're 1/4 inch glue dots, but if you just use a tool and just sort of fold them over a little bit, almost into like a little kind of little tube thing, you can then pop that into place, and it won't show so much behind your little knot that you've got going on there. Okay, then of course we need to just cut those tails. I realised I didn't actually use my thread scissors there, did I? And what I do is I cut one a little bit shorter than the other, just to give it a bit of movement. As well. Just a tad. Just sort of makes them sit a little bit better, and then of course you can just sort of encourage that to sit where you need it to, because they'll want to just sit as they were on the spool there. Okay, so of course there's bellies we can put on there. I really like, let me get out the neutral sequins. I like those. These are good because we've got a few options here in terms of we could use gold, but we've also got these brown ones which are like the early espresso, which I think is really nice. And they've got 2 sizes on them as well, which is even better. So we can pop on a couple of these as well. I say a couple. Translate that into 3. And it'll just sort of frame it up again on the outside, but also coordinates with our card with that early espresso in there. Okay, so loving the look of that. Another carryover. I was really pleased that these carried over. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, bit of shine in there as well. With that, and those roses just sort of peeking out from that foliage. This one, you see more of the roses if you put the leaves out in the background a little bit more. So it's kind of take your choice on which layout you prefer. I think they both have ups and downs. So yeah. I hope you've enjoyed that. So until the products are released, I can't link to the beige, but the stamp set is available right now along with the dies, so you will be able to purchase that. So I'll link that in the description. The twine and the gems you can get now, Wink and Stella you can get now. So there's still stuff that you know, you can add to your basket, ready for when the rest of it comes available in May. Can't wait. It's not so long now. It felt like forever last week, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not long to wait now. Cool. Okay, that's it from me for today. I hope you're staying safe out there. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like and subscribe, share with your friends and all that jazz. Still trying to aim for that 1,000 subscribers, which would be phenomenal to do. But that's it for today. Okay, see you soon. Bye.